What up, YouTube? Back again. Another video. Chilling like a villain, or more so an anti hero, or more so a chaotic good, or chaotic neutral, or just plain neutral. But that's besides the point. Um, Getting back to the topic of the page on the chair stress. My definition of stress, as I stare at my screen, try to go out of focus and back into focus, worrying about my video quality, is, in my definition, so don't crucify me in the comments, a certain voluntary or involuntary body reaction when your body comes in contact with discomfort or overwhelming sensations or thoughts, or just a general sense of urgency pushed to its extreme. Now, stress is taken differently by a lot of people, but the most common display of stress is sweatiness, itchiness, just a general scattering of the brain, not being able to focus or think properly, and just generally not being able to put it all together immediately at one time. So, I would like to say that I experienced the, common forms of what stress is. And it's not the worst thing in the world. But there are, the more extreme cases of stress that are just naturally hindering to your everyday life. Things like people that pull hair, people that bite their nails, people that like blink rapidly, people that have to pace. I actually have paced once upon a time, but now I pace when I'm just like talking to somebody over the phone and stuff. And I know some of you are thinking, well, why didn't you add stress to anger? Because there seems to not be as much you can go into about stress as you can anger, and you could have just threw them both into one video. And my answer to that is, why make one large piece of content when you can make two average or to mediocre sized pieces of content? I'm already thinking like one of those big old YouTubers up there and the stuff. But there's actually a lot you can talk about stress, how to reduce it, how to manage it, looking at your own life and seeing what you can and can't do to adjust your stress levels. Because really, a person is in more control of what stresses them out than they give themselves credit for. And you could say stress happens through things that you just experience in your everyday life, that you don't control everything in your everyday life, and most of it is the world around you and chance. And some of that is true. But at the same time, if you are able, in most cases, you can be put in a position where you can remove yourself from a position and therefore reduce your stress levels. Or just generally see that you're taking on too much at a time and just generally reduce your stress levels by giving yourself a break or doing less work at a time, or just generally trying to not be there for everybody, because that is another way to build up your stress levels. Just generally saying, I want to be there for each and every person that I come in contact with, yet at the end of the day, you're not taking care of yourself and you're more worried about everybody else. The more people you worry about, the less you can worry about yourself. Or the more people you worry about and still try to worry about yourself equally only makes life harder on the person that's trying to be the God sent. And I'm not saying don't care for people, and it's actually good to show the world that you can be just generally a good human being, but that doesn't always come with taking the chance or taking the risk of putting your own health in jeopardy because the world around you is important to you. It's good to think that way, but as long as you are taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. If not, you're just a bright, healing flame to the world that's going to burn out really soon. And I don't want to see people do that to themselves, because having a good heart is nice. But having a good heart and living miserably is not nice. And in all honesty, if you live life for other people, yet they can't see that you are just generally making your life stressful, going back to the board because I am getting a little bit off topic, it's kind of sad. So, back to stress. You want to give yourself not necessarily an easy life, but one that you're happy with. And some people are happy working really hard and nonstop, and no sleep. Sleep is for the weak, and all that other, etc., etc. But really, everything needs to be taken into consideration, because once you go heavily in one thing, it can easily become a bad thing. Like taking care of other people, just generally wanting to be lazy, just generally wanting to work nonstop and earn money. You can go to any side of the scale or any point on the chart and know that putting too much time into any one thing can turn it to its own respective stress. If you just want to be lazy, you have the stress of, not generally having a place to stay and live. If you just want to work, you just put yourself in your body in the state of there is very little to no time to recuperate, therefore you're going to burn your body out of its natural resources. Or if you just generally want to be there for too many people, as my spiel before stated, you will start caring for yourself less. And it's kind of like the overworking yourself, but it's not for money, which is noble in itself as its own profession. So, with that, that's the end of this video for the day. If you like the video, like it. If you have your own way of dealing with stress that's unique, or even if it's common, leave it in the comments. Share it with your friends if you want to share. And, hit the bell for notifications if you still just generally want to see these. Alright, see ya.